Welcome back to the Titanium Hanger. This is Mike, and today I'm going to be opening the Haslab Skystriker. I am going to see how well it's packed, what's all in there, what comes with it. Quick video, and then we're going to see the condition of the card backs and everything that's in there, because I've been hearing horror stories, but I'm going to put them to rest, or I'm going to confirm them. I don't know yet. We're going to do this all on camera. Then I'm going to tell you how I feel a half a decade later, 5 years after we first started Haslab with the sail barge. I was on board with it, made probably 6 videos talking about it back then, and I've made videos about pretty much every Haslab since then. So we're going to talk about this, and I'm going to share you my feelings about where we're going with Haslab these days coming up. Alright, so let's get this all in frame here, and I'm going to cut it open very carefully. So I'm curious, I think I've watched a couple of unboxings, but it's been about a week or so. So just lift up on it a bit so you don't mess it up. Don't cut into anything. Let's see. Is it all in frame? So, it doesn't really matter. You know, it really doesn't matter if you... Oh, it's the outer box. So here it is. Once you do that, there's this. So there's another box. There's a box inside of a box. So, okay, so we got the outer box out of the way. Here we go with the other box. And please open form side. Open form side. Please open from side, form side, whatever. It says, please open form side. So, open it from the side, I guess is what they're trying to say. I'm not sure. Uh-oh. What's going to happen here? Gonna lift up on it as I cut. This is probably the most boring part, of course, because just looking at cutting, but I got it all on camera. One good thing is that they are going to show this here. It does have a piece of cardboard so that when you're cutting into it, that your piece of cardboard here is keeping it protected. And we have a Skystriker. Upside down Skystriker. So I'm going to get that one piece of cardboard out of the way, and then we're going to pull the Skystriker. It looks like it has handles for you to pull it out, so that's smart. That's nice. We're going to set this aside because we're going to come back and look at this in just a minute. Oh, blueprints and stickers just fell out of there. We'll come back and look at that also here in just a minute. Wow. This is why you're opening it form side. And there's the figures. And there's the accessories. So let's see here. Do I have enough light? I can kind of adjust my tripod here. Alright. Let's get in here and see about this. Pulling each figure out one at a time. And first off, we've got Cobra Commander. No complaints. I think the card stock feels pretty good. I know a lot of people said they were flimsy, but yeah, it is kind of thin. But my card's in good shape. Yes. And next up, we've got the Cobra Trooper, and that almost looks like the paint job you got from, what was that, Fun School? Yeah, Fun School. And then we have the Cobra Ground Crew. Now I do have a bit of a ripple right here. Overall, not too bad. This is the worst one so far. Let's get in deeper. Now they do have, it's nice that they put this in here. So keep it separated. And we can see over here we have the parts for Ground Crew and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to take a look at that here in a bit too. Okay. The one that I think, this is the one I think most people made a big deal about, was the ripcord, and he's in pretty good condition. I do have a dent on the side, minor ding. I will live with that. Uh-oh. Now this ace, oh man, look at that. Look at that. That ace is just mutilated. I could live with a couple of dings, but that ace is mutilated. I don't know about that. I'm gonna have to call them about that one. She's okay, I guess. Counterintelligence Scarlet in Ace's clothes. Don't know about that ace. And then we have Radar officer. Okay, it looks pretty good. All right, let me get these figures out of the way and not let them get damaged anymore. Not happy about that ace, but I'm pretty happy about the rest of them for the most part, compared to what some other people have seen and said and all that. So let's get into these other parts and pieces here. These pieces. And we got the stand, flight stand packed in here. I'm not too worried about this stuff. It should actually hold up real well. So flight stand, and then whatever all this is, all missiles and stuff. Cool. And oh, I bought my camera on that one. Okay. So with the rest of the stuff, I mean, it's packed in here pretty good. I'm not too worried about it. I'm gonna go ahead and just get it out of here, put it all on the table. We're gonna have a look at it. It's just really hard to operate the camera and move this with this big box in the way. Okay, so I didn't really show this part. These boxes that hold parts and stuff sort of look like they make up sort of a runway. I think mine are in a little backwards. Maybe we can move it. Got to move it. Now you can probably lay them a little flatter too and get more runway out of it, but pretty interesting. So before we get into my quick discussion about how I feel about Haslabs in 2023, we got stickers, all kinds of stuff, instructions. Of course, this is a very small instruction sheet. This is the blueprints. Very little to do with it, and it's not folding. It's just separate sheets. We do have the Cobra decals. We have the, I guess I can pause for the cause, and more decals, which I am not going to be putting the decals on it. So the decals should have been in the box. They should have been in the Skystriker box, not separate. So I don't like this. This should have been in that box back there. Now I will say, my box is immaculate. It came in, I don't see any issues with the box. My only packaging issue, for real, was right there with my ace. And I'll see if I can get some sort of something out of that. Get a replacement ace or something. So we'll be testing the grounds on that one. The rest of them are relatively good. I got a couple of creases here and there that are minor, but then we have all of this stuff over here, which it's all the extra packing stuff. We've got missiles and stuff like that. I'm not really going to open those out of the package, but since we do have these over here, you got missiles that can connect onto the flight stand, and I'm going to compare these because this isn't the first time we've seen these ground vehicles. We've seen them before, so I'm going to do a quick comparison of them. Okay, so we have seen this before, and the thing about it is that this is from the flag. These, I wouldn't say they're hard to track down, but stuff like this cover here, I've only found one for a reasonable price. And then this piece here, would have been nice if these were swappable, you know, but they're much smaller vehicles. Okay, so you pop this piece off, you have basically the same thing right here, more or less, except you don't have a seat in the front, and this feels like really cheap plastic. This feels more heavy duty, the original one. I don't know if it's just thicker, but I mean, this is a bigger, more substantial thing than this. So I didn't really copy it, but it's similar in a way. So there's that. And this, I think there's a cover in one of those bags over there that's for this. I'm not sure which direction this is supposed to go in here. And I think this thing should be able to haul the Skystriker also with this. And then we have the fueling station, which I'm sure there's stickers for it and all that kind of stuff. Similar type of deal here with the fueling station, and it already has the hose connected, but that's not working very well. My hose is all tangled up in there. That's not fun. So what's going on with this? I guess I'm gonna have to wind it up proper like, so something like that. Anyway, as you can see, it's very similar to what we had before, but there's only one hose in this one. The other one, I don't know if I did it right or wrong or what, but it's basically one hose that's intertwined in there, connected to two different fuel up pieces, which I think are the exact same thing, except they're colored red if you're on a Terradrome fuel one, I think. But they get their fuel pieces from the same place. And looking at the flag versus the Haslab, they're very, very similar, if not almost exactly the same. No, they're not exactly the same, but I mean, you could get away with popping this one off and using it as one of these if you wanted to for whatever reason. But kind of interesting stuff. Again, this is much, much bigger, much bigger, and much more, much better plastic, I guess. Let's see if we can swap these. Yep, this should fit into there, and this should fit into there, and compatibility 40 years later. All right, so the extras are nice, but the meat and potatoes is the Skystriker and the figures, and let's do the math on this. This was a $230 project, I believe. $230, if I'm remembering right, it was $230. And you get the Skystriker with no figures packed in the box and no instructions or stickers in the box. So it's all outside the box. I don't know why they did that. And then that itself, I believe the Skystriker is an $80 value. And they believe that O-ring figures aren't $10 or $15. They believe O-ring figures are $20. So you take an $80 Skystriker, right? And then you add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these figures for $20 a piece. So that's 140 plus 80, 220. So it still sort of value-wise misses the mark by $10. But now it's exclusive. Now you're never going to get all this stuff again. And each figure is going to go for like 30 to $50, so not 20. And it's going to be kind of crazy. So will we ever get a Skystriker again? Well, a lot of people said they'll get mad if they come out with a red one or a blue one or a black one or whatever. We're going to get different decos of this. And they've already said that. They've already mentioned it in a live stream that it opens up for down the road to reuse that tooling for a different one. And guess what? It's probably not going to be cheaper, even though they already paid for the tooling. So with that, the expectation is that we would get at least as many figures, if not more. How do I feel about that? Well, Haslab is for unattainable items. I don't think a Skystriker is unattainable. In fact, I can go buy 10 Skystrikers, vintage ones today, or ones made in 2011 today, and they'd be considerably cheaper than this. But this is a better mold. There's more stuff to it. The features are better on this. So yeah, it's good. It's a better overall value. Not value at all. Better overall vehicle. But it's taking a place of something that could have been a big deal. It could have been something that wasn't made. And just let your imagination go wild. They're never going to make a flag. A flag would be easily $1,000, if not $1,500. Don't think they're going to make a flag. They're not going to make a 7-foot long flag. It's just not going to happen. I keep hearing people say that. People want to see a Star Wars Death Star. People want to see all this kind of stuff. They might do Death Star. But I doubt it. Star Wars is like floundering, and they don't want to put any money into it. Joe is like their cash cow that they're not cashing in on. Well, they did on this. So I would like to see something bigger. I don't want to see a Terradrome because you can still get a Terradrome. Like $500 you can get a Terradrome, right? Mostly complete. But buying another Terradrome, if people that already have a Terradrome, what would we want it for? If people already have a flag, what would they want it for? And those are the people that are in the market the most, right? You start thinking along the lines of Mattel Creations and what they said with their Eternia. Like, I was on board Eternia because I didn't have it, but Eternia is a different story. There's way less Eternias out there in the world, but then there's way less Motu collectors than Joe collectors. So it's kind of one of those things that people fighting for a flag still feel like they should get a flag. But I just don't think that Hasbro will do it. I don't think Hasbro will do a Terradrome either. But I do think they'll do something new that's never been done before, or at least I hope so. I wouldn't mind seeing a whale, but then I don't want to see a $320 whale or $350 or whatever they're going to make a whale. But I'd like to see it made well, a whale made well with solid parts that don't break and as easy, and it can hold up to moving around and doing some stuff. The vintage one is just so fragile that it breaks so easily. I've got 2 of them, and it's just hard to keep them in check, you know. So what's the future of Haslab? It doesn't sound like it's going to be very good. It sounds like it's going to be stuff that should have been at retail, and they just decided to add some extra add-ons to it, and it's going to be bundle deals. Mumbo jumbo, bundle deals. I don't like that. I don't want to buy a Haslab project just to get a bundle deal. But let's go. If they were to do Mask, that'd be awesome. If Haslab's no longer for big dream projects, it's for modernized versions number 6 or 8, then let's do Visionaries. Let's do Mask. I'd be okay with a Tiamat, but I think a Tiamat would sell like crazy at retail, even though Dungeons & Dragons is flopping at retail. The movie's not going to help it either. And that scares me for Wave 2. They've not shown pre-orders for that yet. But I don't want this bundle deal. I want to get a big project. And if we get extra figures along the way, that's great. Skystriker is far from a big project. Skystriker is not a big project at all and should not have been a slot for Haslab. Yes, I bought 2 of them. No, I'm not selling any of them. I'm keeping them because I want to keep one in the box, and, well, I like the figures, and I like to have a couple of them. So, with that, I'm going to find it harder to support stuff like this going forward, especially if I'm not super interested in it. Like, I only have one Skystriker, and it's rough, so it was okay for this. I didn't have the box to that Skystriker, all that kind of stuff. But I still think this was a bad idea. I would like to see Skystriker at retail or fan channels or online or Hasbro Pulse or something like that. Maybe make it a Pulse exclusive. That's better than this. But if they had made Serpentor a Haslab, everybody'd have a Serpentor that wanted one. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Teddy Hanger out.